All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Sobacksports podcast. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, man. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. I see you got a haircut. You're looking
Yeah,
good.
I did. Fresh cut. Fresh cut.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, week 4 is now officially in the books. And hey, it's a great week when the Chicago Bears win, Aaron Rodgers loses, and most importantly, the Green Bay Packers lose as well. Hopefully, that could make it better for a great Monday if the Detroit Lions also decide to lose, you know?
They're up
But
right now 7-0 though.
yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. The Seahawks are good, but I don't think they're that good to beat them. But who knows? Who knows?
They
But
always play they always beat them. They always beat them. So we'll
yeah,
see.
that's true. That is very true. Um, yeah, I mean, listen, very chaotic week. I guess we can talk about a little bit about the Chicago Bears win over the Rams.
Mhm.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, I think it was a great game. Like I feel like in the first quarter, if you told me like after the first quarter, like how do I feel? Like I felt really bad after the first quarter. The first quarter was really, really bad. Offense barely could not we just could not move the ball. I think Shane Waldron like started calling actually like decent plays in the second half. We saw Caleb Williams' first passing touchdowns in Soldier Field. Um, he was efficient. He was a game manager this game, I think, which is good to see. I think every game he's growing as a passer. He had like 70% completion percentage, so that's something you want to see. Um, and I saw like some like shows they're saying like, oh, like we should still be worried about Caleb. I think like I'm fine with like I don't think there's anything to worry about him like right now. He's gonna have some rookie growing pains. He did miss an end zone shot to DJ Moore. His deep ball percentage, like deep ball accuracy is not that great, but it's gonna improve. Um, right now, obviously Jaden Daniels is right now number one after week 4, but by the end of the season, I think Caleb Williams will be great. I think defense played really, really well. You got that strip sack from Montez Sweat which was really good. Second sack of the season. Jaquan Brisker should have had 2 interceptions, but one of them like got called back because he was like out of bounds. Um, but very, very solid game for the defense. This is a game you needed to win, must win. Matthew Stafford did not have his weapons, and you capitalized on it. So great win for the Bears, and it's just a great Monday.
Yeah, I mean, listen, can't be too disappointed with the Chicago Bears win ever, especially since now Caleb Williams is officially 3-0, including the preseason at home. And apparently he's the first rookie quarterback to win uh, it, their first two, like first overall pick to win his first 2 games in his home turf, which is, I mean, make of that what you will, but that's really pretty. I think that's pretty good. Um, yeah, there's a lot to kind of uncover. I think there was a lot of great things that happened with Caleb Williams this game. Um, Mainly that he didn't turn over the ball. He was very safe with it, made the correct plays, and most importantly, what I think I noticed a lot was the his ability to like be calm in the pocket, and especially after like the first 2 games or 3, actually no, first 2 games, because he combined with like 9 sacks in 2 games. You would think that a rookie quarterback um has a setback because of that, or is very skittish in the pocket, or will make its first read and then decide to escape if the pocket starts to collapse. Caleb does not do that. And you can see time and time again in the pocket, unless it truly does collapse and there's no way to get the ball out, he then escapes. That one touchdown play to DJ Moore was a pure example of that, where the pocket was truly collapsing and he was essentially sandwiched by 2 offensive linemen and was able to throw an insane dart to touchdown for a touchdown to DJ Moore. And that's stuff you love to see from your quarterback. And I think he's slowly but surely starting to get more and more comfortable. Um, And that's what more can you really ask for? And you kind of like have to tip your hat off to him because, you know, he has all this expectation, and yet every single game there's some level of improvement, which listen, it's maybe the Rams, and ideally if you had said earlier in the season they'd be 2-2, meaning that they would probably have lost to the Rams and beaten the Colts. Well, in this case, it's the opposite, where we beat the Rams and lost to the Colts, and yeah, we're still 2-2, which is kind of like the ideal scenario. Ideally, we would have wanted to be 3-1, but 2-2 is better than being 1-3. Um, and being having 2 wins under your belt and really means a lot to a rookie quarterback, especially a first overall pick. Another thing I wanted to talk about, I just remembered that. His ability to um, audible or read the defenses has improved drastically from the first game. Um, like there were moments where he would see how the play looks like or the defense looks like, use a man in motion and kind of gauge how one of the Mike linebacker or the Will linebacker would like move, and based on that, go back to his offensive line, call the plays, make some adjustments, shifting the offensive line, and voila, just he makes like the veteran, like has a veteran mindset. I wouldn't say veteran actually. I would say like he's starting to pick up things that it would be like a second or third year quarterback would pick up, and yeah, I mean, anything else you want to add?
No, not really. I'm just happy that the Bears won. Like this is a game we needed to win, and now you go before the bye week. The Bears have the bye week, week 7. You got 2 wins, 2 winnable games. You're going against an 0-4 Jags game that's going to happen in week 6 at London, which might be a little tough because it's in London. But then you got a game against the Panthers, right? Do not like. I think my
And at
biggest
home.
fear is, yeah. I mean, it's at home. The Bears have won 7 straight home games. Um, sorry, excuse me. So basically, I think the one key thing the Bears need to do is not undermine the Panthers. The Panthers have given fight to a lot of teams, especially with Andy Dalton. So I still think the Bears are going to win the game, but I think they need to take the Panthers a lot more seriously now. Um, so I'm excited for that. If you can go to the bye week with being 4-2, or hell 3-3, I think ideally 4-2. I think you should have no problem beating the Jags. I feel like you should have no problem beating the Panthers and the Jags. Um, the Bears are in really good spot because then after the bye, you got the Washington Commanders. You got which is again a tough matchup I think now because they got a lot better and Jaden Daniels looking really really nice. But then you got the Cardinals who are just like they have a good offense but their defense is terrible. And then you play the Patriots that they can't move the ball. So you have 10 weeks of games where it's like the NFL basically gave the Bears an easy way to ease Caleb Williams into the NFL. And going into the bye week 4-2, the Bears playoff chances will go exponentially higher because the road only gets harder after the bye and mostly after week 10 against the Patriots.
No, that's completely valid. Another thing I kind of want to bring up is because the thing is, we kind of saw this last year when we had Justin Fields and we were trying to make a playoff push near the end. Um, but the issue is, I'm kind of worried a little bit in our coaches. I'm just worried that we're going to win games under Eberflus where it's relatively easy opponents. But when we face actual comp, and we somehow lose or something like that, like when it involves coming to the playoffs, like let's say we go like win 8 games, right? Like a win more than last year, right? But the thing is, I'm worried that they'll see that the upper management will see that as an improvement for Eberflus and decide to
Nah,
keep him again.
I genuinely think that Eberflus only keeps his job if he gets 10 wins. And hear me out. The reason why he only gets that is because you have the third easiest schedule in the league. Ryan
Hmm.
Poles, hate him or not, gave you a decent team. He did give you a decent team. Like, the offensive line sucks, but he's done good moves when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. He is gave a plethora of wide receivers to Eberflus. And also, look, I 100% agree with you. I will not be fooled by the record. I need to see how Matt Eberflus goes against good head coaches. Can he outcoach Matt LaFleur? I mean, I'm not sure if he really outcoached Sean McVay
I don't
because
think so either.
McVay didn't have his team. McVay just didn't have his team. I mean, look, I'm happy Eberflus won, but I want to see him outcoach Doug Peterson, which is I don't know. He's on the hot seat
I
too,
would say
but
I would say if he outcoaches hmm, Kevin O'Connell
LaFleur,
now
like no,
or
like
Matt
all
LaFleur.
okay. Like, can you get one win against the Packers? Could you get one win against the Vikings? Like, because the Vikings are a legit team. Could you outcoach Dan Campbell once again? Because you did it once,
Or
but could you beat them again?
even
Could you put
Shanahan.
up? Could you put up a fight against Shanahan? Do not get blown out. Put up a fight
Hey,
against Shanahan.
he has won one game against Shanahan. That's for sure. But that
Yes,
was
but
but it's also it was a monsoon game. It's like there's so many listen, he beats these like good coaches like 2 years ago, Belichick, Shanahan, the only two wins of the season, like where it was like insane. Um, I mean, Lovie Smith doesn't really count, but like because he's past his prime. But
no, but like I agree with you. Like they do, but I think for Eberflus to keep his job, like you said, like you alluded to, I need to see him take the Bears to like the promised land, like meaning like the playoffs, and he needs to be good teams. And that's the thing. I will not be fooled with an 8-win game because you can get your 8 wins against bad teams because we're playing a fourth place schedule. I want him to go. I want to see if because like again, we're evaluating if he is the coach of this future, right? Is he the coach that's going to hoist the Lombardi Trophy with Caleb Williams? Because that's what we're working towards, right? So
mhm.
I can't really say he's the coach when first of all he has a three. He is 4-19. No, sorry, he. I think what is he like three?
Three
He's
wins
got
plus 7, 10 plus 2. 10 plus 2 is 12. 12 and um
12. Like he has like he's been a loser head coach. Now I'll give
12
it to him.
and 12
I'll
and
give it to
30.
him. The
12 and
first
30.
year, the team was just not good. Like, it just wasn't
It
good.
was a tank year.
Second year, I wanted to see something, and I just saw so many disappointment games. So this year, what do we see again? We see some disappointment games. Now I'm happy he beat the Rams, but I just need to see more. For me to believe Eberflus is the guy, could you just coach a great game, like top to bottom, top to fin, like just coach a game plan, and out coach someone that's actually good.
Mhm.
I'm tired of you beating like bad teams and then just getting this record, getting their hopes up, and then going out in week 18 against Malafleur and just losing, like
Mhm.
playing out losing. Like for him to keep his job, he needs to beat good coaches and good teams, and that's something I'm excited to see in the second half of the season for Matt Eberflus. But again, kudos to beating the Rams. I'm happy for him, and I'm just happy the Bears won. That's all. Can't complain.
Yeah, true. I'm trying to see what so the last game is. Oh my god. The last game is against the Packers as well.
Look, if Eberflus can beat them in November 17th, he might. I his stock of being the coach will go at an all-time high. I just want him to go in and just go and beat
Aki
Kevin O'Connell.
McCaleb would go higher too. Like
Yeah, I know for sure.
I think that would be more higher than Eberflus. Um,
Yeah, but like
but
we're talking about Eberflus, you're in year 3. Like we want to know you're the coach of the future.
mhm.
Come on,
I just
go out coach good teams.
right.
That's all I gotta say, man.
I'm worried that say he doesn't work out and that we retain him, then we're gonna miss out on like because the thing is, the head coaching candidates this upcoming season are gonna be plentiful because Well, the two
No,
main
but
ones
I wanted to. You wanted to work out though. You
I
want to break
wanted
the
to.
cycle.
I know, I agree. Like, but I don't want it to be like after his first year, and then after his second, and then then he has to still learn two playbooks, and you're wasting Caleb's like first potential to go to even to the
No,
playoffs with this team.
that's why you want Eberflus to be good this season. You want
Right, but
him
if
to
he's
show
not good,
promise.
but at least listen, if he's not good, I just hope that, or at least hope that Ryan Poles realizes that and goes out and gets those candidates like a Bobby Slowick or Ben Johnson. That will, I mean, we'll see how they fare as the season progresses because we're just
Mhm.
basing it solely off of the last season. So, because those two, either of those two, I think will literally be awesome head coaching candidates for us. And I think
Yeah,
that
but you
they'll
don't want to.
probably be
You don't
better.
want that.
I
But you don't
understand
want
that.
that.
Listen, would you rather have Eberflus for like what 3 more years just for continuity's sake, or and still like be mediocre? Like I'm just saying hypothetically, if
Well,
he's
no,
mediocre this
obviously
season,
not. Obviously not. Like if Eberflus
yeah. But I'm just
sucks, he
saying
sucks,
in
and
the
you want to get him out of here.
yeah, in the off chance that he does become mediocre or he just like falls off the rest of the season, like you have to look into that. But I guess that's down the line. He still listen. Say what you want about Eberflus, and I'll agree with this. I think as a testament, um, defense wise, elite defensive coordinator, like hands down,
But
one
again,
of the
we say that all the time. But
right.
he's
I
not a
agree.
defensive coordinator.
I understand that he's a head coach. I get it, but I'm saying like
Yeah.
if it were there's two schools of thought. Eberflus, the head coach, which is at times like a little bit of control freak at times, but eh. But then there's the defensive coordinator where he takes over, calls plays, calls a great defensive game for you. Like that, that's what you have to find the balance, and I think Eberflus is still trying to find that balance, and it's slowly starting to
Yeah.
get there. But it needs to speed up,
All I
man.
gotta
Like
say,
at times,
all I gotta say is the Bears better spank the Panthers. That's all I gotta say.
that's true. If it's a close game like last game, like the last time when it was Tyson Bagent, to be fair, Tyson Bagent should have beaten him a lot. Like, oh, well, to be fair, they did
I mean,
have a better. I don't know.
no, I'm just saying, like, I better see a win, like a win,
Like statement win.
not like no like one score win, like no a win.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, because
but yeah,
this is the game where Caleb should at least go for like 3 touchdowns or 2 touchdowns, at
I mean,
least minimum.
look, yeah, for sure.
Okay. Anyways, let's go to the second half of the segment. And going over the games that happened this week. I know the Bears aren't the only game that happened, but
Well,
there are
let's
a
talk
bunch
about
of other
something else.
games.
Let's talk about something else. Let's talk
Actually,
about.
let's go to the main thing, and that is this
I guess
game.
okay. Yeah,
Man,
I was gonna talk about.
jeez, I swear the Vikings were about to blow that game. It looked like they were about. I was like, oh no, Vikings, please. I was like, they were smacking the
I
Packers.
told you, man. Sam Darnold, I like as good of a game he had. I told you he's on pumpkin watch. What, like I'm telling you, like when he goes against the Jets next week, I know the Jets jetted. I trust me, they jetted, but Sam Darnold did not look good. Like you can say all you want about the stats and stuff. Like
He looked good in the first 3 quarters.
fourth quarter, when it matters the most, fumble, interception, 2 turnovers that led to scoring drives.
Yeah.
You can also talk about the muffed punt that the Vikings had. But look, I've been saying this for a while, and I'll say it again. The question on the video is, are the Vikings legit contenders? They were until the second half. And they showed why they're pretenders, man. I am saying they're pretenders. The reason why I'm saying they're pretenders is you cannot be up 28-0 and then blow that lead and be lucky that you don't recover an onside kick. I'm just saying, if Jordan Love was not rusty, the Packers would have won this game. No, I'm just saying. And the fact that you were up 28-0, only scored 3 points in the second half, your defense looked elite in the first half, looked terrible in the second half. It doesn't make sense to me. Sam Darnold is a guy where look, the Cinderella story is nice and all. You got the win, but I'm telling you, the time will come when Sam Darnold will be bad and the Minnesota Vikings season will be over soon. It's great to see them, win with Sam Darnold, but I did not like how the Vikings finished this game. If you're a Vikings fan, this is not a great way to finish the game. But hey, at the end of the day, the box score is what matters, 31-29. But if you want me to answer the question, I say no. They're not legit contenders.
I have to agree with that. I mean, we have to really see. It's a small sample size, and 4-0 seems pretty and all, but you got to see when they face like pretty big comp. They did face the Texans. They did win. Packers is a pretty big statement win, especially when they had Jordan
Texans
Love
are
come
looking
back.
awful.
Huh?
I don't think the Texans are, in my opinion, I don't think Texans are Super Bowl contenders. I
Yeah.
just don't see it because they've not played their best ball yet. Can they
Maybe
be
they'll
later
take
on?
time.
Sure. Yeah, maybe. But like, I just don't see it yet because they almost lost to the Jags. They're crying out loud. Like,
Mhm.
and they got
Yeah.
spanked by the Vikings. The Bears almost beat them. The
To be
Colts
fair,
almost
the
beat them. Like,
Jags. Listen, the Jags. Yeah, I agree. But the Jags are a division game, so I guess it kind of makes sense. But I know. I see what
Vikings,
you mean.
the
Mm,
Bears almost won.
mm, true.
I'm just
They're
saying.
also gonna face the
But
Packers too.
real quick, real quick. I just want to know. Like, I'm just trying to you know, just get another storyline there. Do you see the another close game, the Steelers versus Colts?
I guess. Yeah.
You want to talk about that
Sure. Why not? I mean,
real quick? So Steelers versus Colts. I feel like this was the game of the week. I feel like for me,
for
um,
you, wow, that's
I
crazy.
think
I
that the Steelers were
feel
down
like the last week it
17-0.
was the same game of the week.
It was actually. Look, I've been a huge fan of the Steelers, obviously because of Justin Fields, and I like their offense and stuff, but and their defense is really good. But this is a game where it showed me like Justin Fields is the guy because the team was down 17-0, and for me, Fields, the way he started the game and he ended the game was way different, right? He got that fumble in the second half, not looking good. And then after that, 3 straight red zone trips, touchdown, rushing touchdown, rushing touchdown, touchdown. And he actually should have had 4 scoring drives if George Pickens did not fumble like an idiot. But I'm just saying this. Mike Tomlin, obviously, he said today that Justin Fields right now, they're planning to play him against the Cowboys. I mean, that's the right decision. But he's not named in the starter, which I just don't understand why. But I guess he doesn't have the like he doesn't think it's important to do. But here's my thing. I think Justin Fields showed promise today. He had a 300-yard game, which I really like to see. And then multiple touchdowns, and it finally showed that the Pittsburgh Steelers offense can actually, produce points. That's what the big criticism for the Pittsburgh Steelers is. Oh, they haven't scored more than 20 points. Well, they scored 24. You can win. And if your defense played better against Joe Flacco, the Pittsburgh Steelers could have won. And if George Pickens did not fumble, there's a lot of ifs for this, but I think this was my game of the week. And I think Justin Fields is the quarterback of the future for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think it shows more about. I think it really does show more that the Indianapolis Colts are a plug and play kind of team because they have the head coach, they have the offensive scheming, they have the weapons. It's just that the quarterback was like a little bit of a problem going into the season. And I think Richardson, while he has all the high end talent when it comes to arm talent, but at the end of the day, the health is an issue. I think like he's gonna be back. I don't think he's like it's sidelined for that long. But the fact that Joe Flacco had to come in the first place was speaks volumes because it's like the second season now. Um, and the first 3 games did not go through well, as opposed to last year when it actually went really pretty decent for him. And the Colts, Flacco, I think, is their best shot. To be fair, like if they want to be competitive in this division, I think Flacco has the experience and the ability to take this team far. He did that last year with the Browns, and the Browns are a very talented team. They just didn't have the quarterback to, back it up. And I think the same thing is happening with the Colts. But for the Steelers, I mean, yes, I agree. Like Justin had a great game. I really was happy that he was able to thrive and lead a comeback drive. It's just that the only thing that kind of like made me a little bit disappointed, and I think you can attest to this too, is like that last drive or the drive like that kind of sealed the game pretty much. Like we kind of saw that before in Chicago and quite a bit when it comes to asking Justin. Like I know there were so many factors, right? There was the offensive, the center that snapped the ball poorly, but after that, like Justin recovered, right? But the thing is,
No,
he
but you're behind the sticks. It went back like 10 yards.
I get that, but like listen,
You're second and 20. That's my thing.
no, I know that, but but after that he like slipped and like caused a fumble in a very awkward position, and then the game was over. Like, listen, we've seen this story before, and listen, and I know you were gonna say like game-winning drives don't like they do matter when it comes to wins, and I know that Tomlin really wants wins, right? And the thing is, Justin has to learn how to play from behind, and I think that's what his biggest kryptonite is. Because if
He
he's
did though.
behind, if he's behind, he tends the like 98% chance that they end up losing that game. And we saw that in Chicago. That 2% chance was that Vikings game when he actually fumbled
Oh yeah,
twice.
yeah.
Yeah, he fumbled twice, and then because Josh Dobbs was the quarterback, the defense forced a 3-and-out, and then Justin had that opportunity. He took advantage of it. Good for him. I really was happy that day, and led to a field goal by Cairo
Yeah.
Santos. But in this case, he could have tied it as well. But again, it's not all on Justin. I'm not saying that this is all his fault. Like he was the reason why they lost. The defense played poorly, like way poorly than usual. I think they just weren't prepared for Joe Flacco or even the run game. I think they just weren't all there. But listen, give credit where credit is due. Justin did his thing. But I think that's something that the Steelers have to really work on with him, especially Arthur Smith and Tomlin. And I think as the year progresses, he will probably improve on that. Um, but
But you think
yeah,
he's a starter? You think like he's a starter? Like
yeah,
no
unless
questions.
yeah, there's no question. I think he's the starter. I
I think
think
if he balls out in the Cowboys, it's over. If he balls out and wins against the Cowboys,
I think he doesn't even need to ball out on the Cowboys because listen, 4 games is pretty much enough. Like for even a lot of quarterbacks. Like the fact of the matter
I
is
think
you're
they need
three
to
and
get the
one
win though.
with him, huh?
I think you need to get the win. I think you need to get the win though.
No, I get that. I get that. But you're 3-1 with him. Like that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like putting in Russell Wilson, who hasn't seen the field in 4 weeks. Like I don't
Yeah, I
think
think
it's
he's
gonna
cooked.
happen. I don't think he's cooked.
Nah,
I just think that he has. It just the Steelers. It just wasn't. The timing was just really unfortunate for him. When it came to like playing, because he got that injury or whatever, knee injury or whatever. But
when one door closes, another door opens. I think Justin Fields took advantage of the situation. He's playing really well. I'm really happy for him. Um, but I just think that like the game winning drive, like if you look at it like real quick, like I'm being so serious. Like momentum's a thing, and I'm not saying like he was perfect. Like he definitely could have done better. But that center, I don't understand what he's doing. Like what kind of snap was that? I saw
he's
this in
been pretty
Chicago with
inconsistent.
the Cody White. He was like basically Cody Whitehair's son or something, bro. Like how are you that bad at like snapping a football? Like it just irked me. I was like, bro, come on, man. He was actually playing good, and then that just halted the drive. And then Najee Harris, what are you doing? You have to go out of bounds. You waste another 10 to 15 seconds there. Like it was like so many plays like that halted that game-winning drive. And then George Pickens, like, what are you doing? Like, you're the 5-yard line. You're right before halftime. The Steelers can score a touchdown, and you just throw the ball. Like, what are you doing? That's my thing. I think Justin played well. I think he could have played a little better, but the Steelers defense let them down. A lot of mistakes, and I think the Steelers just outright just weren't. They took the Colts really lightly, and I think against the Cowboys, you need to take them even more serious because they're a way better team. And just because Micah Parsons and Lawrence are not going to play, you cannot play bad. You got to play better. You got to bring your A game. Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb are going to give their best. So that's my keys to victory for the Steelers, man. They need to play better. But yeah, that was my favorite game.
Okay.
Other than the Bears game.
Yeah, of course. Saints, Falcons. I mean, Younghoe Koo, man, came in clutch as usual for them. Yeah. I think the Saints are kind of like starting to come back to reality.
I mean,
they're still
NFC
good.
South. The NFC South is going to be very, very interesting. Like, I think it's a 3-way race right now. It's like
I think the Bucks
Falcons,
are still
the
the
Saints.
best team.
They are, but then you also like see them like lose to the Broncos. So like,
Yeah,
I think I need to see next week's matchup at Thursday Night Football. I think it's gonna be the Falcons versus Bucks. I think that's gonna be a good one. So we'll see who's the better team after that. But the Saints, I'm telling y'all, like I try to tell y'all, like they were not gonna keep on playing this good. Kamara's still really, really good, but the team is just not that good. I feel like they're just fraud alerts.
Mm-hmm. I'm not even gonna talk about this game because that was just even
Breece Hall had 4 rushing yards. Like, what are we doing here?
No.
4 rushing yards?
Can we talk about that Bo Nix had -7 yards going into the third quarter?
Yeah, he has 60 yards and won a game.
Yeah, and 60 yards, 1 touchdown, and a win. He's the first, I think, quarterback to ever do that under 20 attempts or something like that. Insane times.
I don't want to hear people say that Bo Nix is looking better than Caleb Williams. Like, no.
No one's
Caleb Williams never. No, they are. They are saying it. They're saying that Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix are looking better. They're saying that.
They're not actually like watching film. They're just saying that this just rage bait at that point. That's just really rage bait. But yeah, Philly is kind of cooked. I think Sirianni's a huge.
Look. To be fair, I'll say this for the Eagles: they did not have their 2 best weapons, but they're deep. Where's the defense at? Everyone on the defense was healthy. Like, where are they at? That's my thing.
Vic Fangio is there. No, is it Vic Fangio? Yeah, Vic Fangio is their defensive coordinator too.
I try to tell you, like, the Eagles' defense was not going to be good. Their secondary sucks. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't even need to talk about this game. Besides that, I mean, this was a pretty interesting game. Commanders, Jesus Christ, 42 points, 3-1. Dude, are the Commanders the best in the NFC East?
There was like they are. In ESPN today, they were saying, like, is Jaden Daniels the best quarterback in the NFC?
I don't think he's the best quarterback yet. I just think that the team as a whole is really good with him. I think there's a huge difference.
But who are they beating, man? Like, that's my thing. Who are they beating?
That's also true.
Okay, like the Bengals. Okay, I'll give that to them. Like, because if the Bears beat the Bengals, I'll be saying that. But Giants, they should have lost that game if they had a kicker. No, I'm being so serious. If you watched the game,
no, I get that.
Giants,
I just think that. Okay, so
then the Cardinals suck. Like, they actually suck. Like, they had that one game against the Rams where the Rams were just depleted. Like, I'll be honest, the Cardinals are not good. They're not a good team. Their defense sucks. The Giants, the Bengals, the Cardinals. They're on a 3-game win streak right now.
No,
I'm not trying to discredit the Commanders.
No, there's 4 games that played. Like, what's the 4th one?
Yeah, and they lost to the Bucks. They lost to the Bucks week 1.
Yeah.
They got destroyed against the Bucks. See, when they played a good team, they lose.
Yeah, I get that. No, I understand. They play a good team, and the thing is,
So I'm not ready
listen,
to say they're the best team.
they're not the best team, but I guess there's a caveat as well. Like, yes, they have a great offense, but their defense is what's really bad. Could be true, could be
And
not true. Like,
they're not playing good players either.
exactly.
That's the thing.
So
They're not.
I
Yeah.
think the one time where the defense was really looked bad, or two times, was against the Bucks and the Bengals. Um, and I don't know. I think it's kind of hard to say, but they look pretty good with Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels has been seizing every opportunity, and he looks good, man. He looks good. I mean, right now, as of right now, he is the leading
Mhm.
candidate for Rookie of the Year. Um,
Oh, him or
yeah,
Neighbors.
ooh, I think it's probably him because it's like neighbors. Um, they just don't give it to wide receivers that often. Like that's the thing, or like
They gave it to Garrett. They gave it to Garrett Wilson.
that was like 2 years ago, right?
Well, there was no quarterback though.
Yeah, exactly. So
But I'm just saying this. Like, I would give it to Neighbors. I don't know though. Right now, I think Neighbors like his quarterback's Daniel Jones, and he's doing that, man.
I see. But hey,
But I don't
listen,
know. I see the Jay Daniels argument though. Like he's playing really good. Like his completion percentage is at an all time high. You know,
80% for a rookie is nuts.
his stats are like Dak, like his rookie season.
Mhm.
He has like Dak Prescott rookie season numbers, and that's really good. So
Wow.
I
Hey,
think
listen.
he can
Yeah.
be good. He's good. He's good.
As long as Cliff Kingsbury doesn't get found out, I think they're gonna be really good. Like that's the thing about Cliff Kingsbury that the Cardinals faced. As soon as they figured out his offensive scheming, they became one dimensional, and that's the issue when he was a head coach. Um, but listen, he's getting a second chance, second opportunity. It might be different this time, but Jaden Daniels, it only will help his development. So I'm not too worried about it. Um, and I think he's going to be really good. I really can't wait to see Caleb face him. Um, Caleb facing
Little
the
score update.
Washington.
A
Huh?
little score update. A little score update on the two games that are going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Titans are winning 9-3, so it's just a battle of kicking field goals. And
Yeah.
then the Detroit Lions are up 21-7. Jahmyr Gibbs has 2 rushing touchdowns, and David Montgomery has 1 rushing touchdown.
Let me
And
check
then
my
I think
fantasy
Geno Smith. But
because
it's not looking good for us because the Lions might win. I don't know. Maybe the Seahawks come back. We'll see. But I think we covered basically most of the good games. I mean, I'm not sure. Was there? I mean, we could talk
ooh,
about Bills Ravens.
dude, look, I'm facing. Okay, I have David Montgomery. My opponent has Jared Goff right now, and
Uh,
the only reason why I have a 20% chance to win, and the thing is, I'm down um 11 points. So literally, I have zero, like pretty much no chance to win. But if Jared Goff continues to like just not throw touchdowns, and Monty gets the touchdowns, I have a chance to win. Like it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy, but I'm not
Yeah,
expecting to win. Yeah.
but here's the thing. I think like going back to this, I think the last game we should talk about. Okay, let's talk about the
Oh,
Chiefs
this.
game and then we'll talk about the Bills games. Let's talk about the
Okay.
Chiefs real quick. The Chiefs, look, I think this game was really, really like, obviously really mid. But they were down
Very good.
10-0 at the first quarter, and then they won 17-10. But I don't think the games are really that important. They're 4-0. But the thing that I feel
Rishi
like it's
Rice.
important, yeah, Rasheed Rice. Is Rasheed Rice. I think the Chiefs have to. I think if it's an ACL, you got to go trade for a receiver. You got to go trade for Amari Cooper or DeAndre Hopkins or something. You got to. Because Kelsey, teams are going to double team him now. He played okay this game, but teams are going to double team him. And then Juju Smith-Schuster, how much is he going to give you? Right? How much is Sky Moore going to give you? So, and then you got rid of Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Like, he was pretty big for them. So, I'm saying this because, and you don't got Pacheco either. So your run game is already kind of low. I mean, Kareem Hunt's decent, but I think you got to go trade for a wide receiver. And I think that if the Chiefs do that, they'll probably be good. If Rasheed Rice is out for, let's just say it's not an ACL, let's just say it's something lighter, and he's back for like December, I still think you got to trade for a wide receiver no matter what.
Yeah, I agree. And to kind of
And
quickly touch on the Chargers, huh?
Marquise Brown might be back too for this
Mhm.
postseason. So
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Chargers, I mean, I don't understand why they played Herbert when he was already hurt. So, like, you're gonna play the Chiefs again. So, like, I don't understand the point.
I
But
mean, beating the Chiefs is impossible, but
that's right. The game of the week, in my opinion, is this because Jesus Christ, man,
that is
Derrick
not game of
Henry.
the week, man.
For me, it was
This is the
because,
worst.
bro,
This is
I
the
did not
worst
expect
game.
the Buffalo Bills to get beaten down this badly before because they have a good team overall, and they were seen as the best team in the NFL for the time being until the Baltimore Ravens absolutely smacked them in the face. And the thing is, they went to see the Ravens. Typically, you know, they go back. They try to prove like they try to overthink everything, and it ends up blowing up in their face. But this time, I think the main thing is just run it as possible. You got Derrick Henry for a reason. The first two games you didn't utilize him that properly. Now they're like, okay, enough's enough. Don't need to have Lamar do everything. Just utilize your weapons, and then when you see an opportunity, use a passing play. Like, you have two good running backs in Justice Hill and Derrick Henry, and even with the run game with Lamar. So utilize that. Todd Munkin, hats off to him. Called a great game. Defense as well. Like, Bob, what's his name? I
Yeah.
forgot his name, but Orr is his last name. He called a great game on defense to limit Josh Allen. And yeah, man, I think if the Ravens just continue to play like this, I think they're going to be pretty solid. The only thing that I would say the only reason the Ravens lost in the AFC Championship game is they went away from the run game. Like, that's plain and simple why they lost that game. The run game was clearly working. Like, there were multiple times in that AFC Championship game where the run game was like clearly working, but Todd Munkin was trying to overutilize Lamar Jackson to just for the sake of argument or for the sake of, you know, he needs to throw in order to look good because that's clearly what it looked like to me. And they don't have to throw it every time because the Chiefs were ready because they were like, okay, this guy's just going to throw. Like, there's no other point about that. And the scheming
I
wasn't that
mean,
great
look,
either.
kind of need Jackson to throw the ball. Like
No, you
he's
do.
a quarterback
Not
at
all
the
the
end of the
time.
day.
Not like 30 plus times or like 40 plus times because you have a
Nah,
great
I mean,
run game.
I genuinely agree with you. Like I think the Ravens, this game showed that they were the superior team and they're probably one of the best teams in the NFL. And all I gotta say is this: the Bills don't get blown out, and the fact that they did on prime time is crazy. Just we finally got the game where they actually used Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ravens fans, like Ravens. You know what happens when you actually use Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson in the backfield? Yeah, things are going to be scary. Yeah, you're going to get 87-yard runs. Yeah, you're going to win games and run down every run down every defense, right? Because you have Derrick Henry, who's probably one of the best running backs in the league, a top running back ever. Like you have a great weapon like that. Lamar Jackson, one of the best running quarterbacks ever, right? The offense, the playbook opens when you have a good run game. So I really like that. And then the pass game obviously improved when they had incorporated Derrick Henry. I feel like against the Chiefs, they didn't really incorporate Derrick Henry in that game. He only had like 2 touches in the fourth quarter. Like, no, you have to let Derrick Henry run the ball. He's one of your primary weapons in your offense, right? The Ravens are a running team. You need to stick to your identity, and that's what they did against the Buffalo Bills. And I got to give them a huge shout out for that because they did their job. They went into Buffalo What is
No, it was
Buffalo?
M&T.
Sorry. Yeah. That's I mean against the Buffalo defense. That's what I meant. And they ran the ball. They didn't. They basically stuck to their identity and won them the game. Shout out to them. That was a great win for the Baltimore Ravens. And now they play the Texans next. The Texans next week. So I'm excited to see that game happen.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch. I think that you know, don't let Derrick Henry like start throwing bombs down the field because or like throwing
Yeah,
touchdowns
sure.
because he's done that before on the Titans. If he could do it on the Titans,
Him and
imagine
him
what he
and
can do on the Ravens.
him
So
and him and McCaffrey.
him and McCaffrey
Him
are
and
both like
McCaffrey.
Swiss Army knives. So they can literally do any kind. They can receive, throw, and like rush down the field. Like they have insane athleticism. I mean, McCaffrey right now is like tendonitis or Achilles tendonitis, and potentially both his Achilles. So like both
Yeah.
like legs. So like
And they paid
I
him.
don't know.
They
I think
paid
he
him
might be out
too.
for the season. I think he could
Yeah.
be out
I
for the
mean, we'll
season.
see. We'll see. I mean, we gotta see. But yeah. Let's go
Well,
wrap it
yeah,
up for
these
the
two
games,
games. I mean,
Mid.
I really hope the Titans win or
It's not
something. I don't care.
14-0. It's 24. It's 21-7 right now with the Seahawks
Oh, it's
having the
probably
ball
because I
right
didn't
now.
reload it. But yeah, I mean, it really
Yeah.
doesn't really matter. The games are going on right now. But yeah, I guess that kind of concludes the show. Any closing remarks?
Not really, man. I'm just excited for next week for the Bears. Obviously, I want to. Next week's gonna have a great game. I mean, against the Panthers, it's like it's a must win. So, I'm excited for that. Just football is fun. And this Thursday night, we're finally getting a good Thursday night football game. That's what I'm happy about. Like, we're getting the Bucks versus the Falcons. Like, it doesn't sound great on paper, but they're great teams. So I'm excited to
Yeah.
see that that divisional matchup too to start off the week.
Okay. Well, I guess that concludes this episode. We're approaching episode 10 next week. Sorry, next or this upcoming Thursday. So dang, 10 episodes down almost. But yeah, thank you guys again for so much for watching. If you don't mind, please always leave a like, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think. And yeah, I mean, right now I'm just gonna be, uploading my predictions for the week and stay tuned for the next episode of the podcast. And yeah, anything else?
Nah, not really.
All right. Well, that's about it for this video episode, and I guess we'll see you guys on Thursday.